Pay yourself first, the bedrock of financial independence. The journey to financial independence, my friends, begins not with a complex investment strategy, nor with a lucky stock tip. It begins with a single, simple, and profound decision. It's a decision so basic that most people overlook it entirely, yet it is the absolute bedrock upon which all lasting wealth is built. I call it the golden rule, the first and most important step. Pay yourself first. Think about what happens when most people earn $1. That dollar arrives, and immediately a long line of other people with their hands out forms. The landlord wants his share. The electric company wants its cut. The grocery store, the gas station, the internet provider. They all have a claim on that dollar. The typical person pays everyone else, hopes to have a little left for enjoyment, and then, with whatever might remain at the end of the month, they think about saving. I can tell you with certainty, this strategy is a recipe for a lifetime of financial anxiety. There is never anything left over. Hope is not a strategy. The fundamental shift, the mindset that separates the builder of wealth from the perpetual earner, is to change the order of that line. You must be the first person paid, not the second, not the last. The first. What does this mean in practice? It means that out of every $10 you earn, you immediately move $1 into an account that you designate as your seed capital. This is not your spending money. This is not your emergency fund, though that is also crucial. This is your army. This is the initial company of soldiers that you will eventually send out into the world to conquer new territory and bring back spoils. That first dollar you save is the most important dollar you will ever earn, because it is the one that makes all future dollars possible. Now, I can already hear the objections. I can't afford to save 10%. My expenses are too high. I'll start next year. Let me be blunt. If you cannot save 10% of your income, you are living a life that is financially unsustainable. You are one unexpected car repair or medical bill away from a crisis. The problem is not your income. The problem is your outflow. The beautiful, liberating truth of paying yourself first is that it forces you to solve this problem. When you commit to taking that 10% off the top, you are forced to make the remaining 90% work. You will be astonished at how creative and resourceful you can become. You'll discover that many of the things you thought were necessities were, in fact, comforts you had learned to take for granted. You will dine out less frequently, but you will appreciate it more. You will reconsider that subscription service you barely use. You will become, by necessity, a master of your finances rather than a slave to them. This is not about living a life of misery or penny-pinching austerity. This is about living a life of intention and discipline. It is the difference between being on a rudderless boat, drifting with the current of your expenses, and taking firm control of the wheel and steering toward a specific destination. The person who pays themselves first is the captain of their ship. Everyone else is simply a passenger, hoping the winds are favorable. The power of this habit is not just mathematical, it is profoundly psychological. The first time you transfer that money and see your seed capital account grow, you experience a shift in identity. You are no longer just an earner, you are an owner. You are a capital accumulator. You begin to see yourself as someone who builds things, who plans for the future, who has a stake in what is to come. This shift is more valuable than any single dollar you save. It is the moment you stop working for money and start having your money work for you. I often use the analogy of a farmer. A foolish farmer would eat all of his seed corn at harvest time. He would have a full belly for a week, but he would have no crop the following year, and he would face starvation. The wise farmer, no matter how hungry he is, sets aside the very best portion of his harvest as seed for the next planting. He knows that this seed is not his to consume. It is the guarantee of his future survival and prosperity. Your savings are your seed corn. Do not consume it. This first rule is the gatekeeper. Without it, the other 6 rules are meaningless. You cannot invest money you do not have. You cannot earn a return on capital you never accumulated. The entire magnificent structure of compound interest, which I have often called the 8th wonder of the world, cannot begin to work without an initial deposit. That first dollar you save is the spark that starts the fire. It is the single acorn from which a mighty oak tree grows. So I urge you, start tonight. Do not wait for your next raise. Do not wait for Monday. Decide right now that you will pay yourself first. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate savings or investment account for the very next time you get paid. Make the decision now and let the system do the work for you. Master this first step. Make it an unbreakable habit, as routine as brushing your teeth. Get this right, and you have already won more than half the battle. You have laid the foundation. And once this foundation is solid and secure, we can then talk about what to do with that growing army of dollars, how to deploy them, how to protect them, and how to make them multiply. But that is a conversation for another day. For now, your only job, your most important financial task, is to pay yourself first.